Now we're live.
Okay. Like I said, it was really jarring to see someone play, and he even said like, "Yeah, it's really off." And I'm like, "Yeah." I mean, I never thought I'd see somebody running around a realistic Call of Duty game, just a big cartoon character, man. At least Splinter, he looked like tried to make his fur look real, but the Beavis and Butthead, they just went, as we're not trying anymore as you can.
Yeah. That's, I mean, dude, I don't know why I don't know. I
It
mean,
just feels weird for that to be something they decided to go with that style for Black Ops. Like, make another Call of Duty game called Call of Duty. We wish we were Fortnite, but don't like make Black Ops just a big joke. And I mean, I've heard it was apparently in the past it was pretty bad. Well, guess what? I don't remember that, and maybe I didn't play long enough. Maybe Black Ops is something you can only enjoy for the first few months before the stupidity rolls in. You know what I mean? Maybe that's the rule. Is like, oh, you only got so long before like it becomes absolute trash. What's this about Dragon Age Velgar won some kind of game of the year? That had to be from some weird little site. Yeah, when you do the intro, I'm gonna find out about this. I want to know who gave them game of the year.
yeah.
I wonder if they also gave Concord game of the year.
Oh.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Well, I'd imagine the gaming awards would give them game of the year.
ah.
And yes, it's spelled exactly like you think.
Yeah, yeah, I got you. All right, welcome to Dice Junkies. I'm Xenodamus, and I'm here with.
Q.
All right, let's get started.
Hey, I would
Bloodaxe
defend
is out
that.
of town this week, so.
I'm gonna defend that choice. That's probably the only game that sold enough copies that would qualify for their award. Well, Dustborn wasn't gonna win it. Can't give a game of the year that nobody played. You need to actually like get some numbers. Half the people listening don't know what the hell Dustborn is, so they pick the game people recognize.
Oh, all right.
Hey, they're not as bad as Ubisoft or Crafton. But apparently I'm a liar because Crafton's really nice and, everybody picking on them. People picking on them. You can find any point of view if you look hard enough, can't you? Just anybody,
Yeah,
they'll just go,
yeah,
oh, man.
yeah. All right. Well, let's see where we want to start.
Did we do an intro?
Yeah, I did the intro.
Man, I ignored the hell out of that, didn't I?
I mean, you even introduced yourself.
Uh, what do I have in here?
I don't know,
It's
man.
turmeric. It's just turmeric.
All right.
Hey, shut up. You vaping. If you can vape, I can drink tea.
I know. I'm not saying nothing about. I was saying all right because man, just the oh, you were talking earlier this week about man, it's always so negative. Maybe we can find some positive, and the answer is we couldn't. Uh,
I know you're still recovering from you going to go like, hey man, what are we missing at the con seed? And him going, oh, we're not missing nothing.
no, we're not. Yeah,
We're not gonna talk about it, but
yeah,
I had to say, if I'd have been there, I'd have got in trouble.
yeah.
Because you would have just heard a peal of laughter over the crowd. Just and then I probably would have got thrown out.
So
Dude, funny's funny, okay? Funny's funny. You can't blame me if you decide get up looking like that. I don't care. You
yeah.
meant for me to laugh. I'm standing by that, dang it. I'm reasonable. But god dang it, there's a line where I gotta go, that's funny. It's either funny or it's gross. I'm being nice. It's funny. boy. How are we not canceled?
Nintendo,
All right.
man. So let's talk about Nintendo. Nintendo banned Switch 2 owner after they played a used Switch 1 game.
No, they bricked them. They bricked their system.
I mean, that's banning.
Yeah. No, they actually went back and unbricked him, even though they're not
did.
supposed to be able to do that.
It was a decision eventually reversed after proving innocence. So this is yeah. So apparently because the game, they got to use the game and it was like backed up virtually somehow. And so because it was there was a backup of the game or something, they decided.
Yeah, basically it said two people are playing the same game.
Yeah.
So it bricked you because unfortunately one of the people playing it was playing it on a Switch 2. The other person probably wasn't on a Switch 2, which means they're smart because they can brick your Switch 2, but I don't think they can brick your Switch 1 right now. So don't get me wrong, if they make any more Switch 1s, they'll probably be brickable. But apparently their EULA, they didn't feel confident enough in this because they actually the guy praised the customer service. He said they very quickly now he did have to go through some hoops. He had to literally send pictures of the site he purchased it from and proof that he had purchased it used, but then they unbricked it, which they're not doing for anyone else, which tells me that they're not as confident they're legally covered.
I'll be honest, that's the thing that got me out of this whole situation. More than the fact that it was solved, or that they bricked somebody because of used games they purchased, was the fact that they were able to unbrick it when we saw other communications where they had told people just to bring the.
Yeah, they made them trade in the entire Switch device and get a new one. And then you find out, not required.
Yeah.
Everybody else, they were just effing over. But see, it's because, I stand by the theory, it's because they felt their EULA covered, that covered them. And they weren't going to act right unless they had to. But apparently somebody looked at it and said, actually, we're liable for these used games. And that made them go, oh no.
Yeah. I mean, and this is also, I mean, this is why Nintendo and so many of these companies want to go full digital anyways. They don't want you to be able to buy used games. They want you to have to buy a game from them every time.
Even though they don't realize that most people that buy a game used are buying a game that they wouldn't buy new in the first place. Most folks buy new games when they want new games. When they get it used, it's because they're saving money and they finally think the value matches. There's no game that I've ever bought used that I wouldn't have bought used in my entire life. I can assure you. Like, I went into the store to buy the game. If I did buy it used, it's like, because I didn't expect it to be there. But like, I go to a store to buy a game, I buy the game.
I mean, well, this comes around to, dude, I'll be honest. Since my financial standings have changed over the years, as I've gotten, better jobs, older, more stable, I don't really tend to buy used games. I bought used games back when I was penny pinching, back when I couldn't afford to buy new games,
Yeah.
And honestly, you're sort of gatekeeping by, I mean, you see all these places upping the price on things and then trying to get rid of the ability to bargain shop or get a bargain in some manner. And so when all you have is the top end, then the only other option becomes
Yeah.
You know?
You got to learn how to sail.
Yeah.
Work on your sea shanties, you know what I'm saying?
Watch
out for the scurvy.
Yeah, and so you keep seeing all we're fighting piracy, we're fighting, and it's like you're sort of creating it too because you're not giving people a lot of options. And while I don't condone crime due to, at the same time, I understand that's how it works, man.
I mean, you shouldn't steal. But at the same time, people are going to want to play games. People get desperate. I mean, most crime, let's say some crime, is motivated by desperation. And it's like, yeah, you want to play games, but they refuse to go on sale. Like, look at Nintendo. One of the most aggressive companies doing this is also the most notorious for never having sales. So while I would say, dude, stealing PC games is kind of messed up because Steam's really good. Humble Bundle, PAX games, there's a really good chance. There's almost no game I haven't seen an opportunity to get at least 30% off, at least,
dude,
on PC.
I picked up a couple of $3 games just, for the summer sale,
Most picked up a game because it was $14. Then I said, I'm not going to play it. But, and then $14 from like 40 is a good deal. But my point is but when you are notoriously unwilling to go on sale, and then, like, Nintendo should not be the figurehead of doing their best to make sure you can't pop, because they're knocking out third-party peripherals as well. They're making their equipment uncompatible with third-party peripherals. They're breaking your game. They're telling you don't own anything. Though, I mean, somebody told them to hold their beer. We'll segue in that in a minute.
Yeah,
but, like, somebody said, you think that's something.
Yeah.
But, like, dude, you already don't offer sales. You don't put your games barely ever on anything else. And now your stuff's overpriced. Switch 2 is charging way too much. And I looked at all these new games and say now they're coming out on Switch 2 as well as PC, Sony, and PlayStation. And I'm like, there's no way the Switch 2 version of that game is not going to be trash. We've seen this 100 times. Oh, hey, look, they put it on Switch now. You go look, it looks like garbage. But I bet you them suckers going to charge you the same price to play the latest games on Switch 2 that would be charged of a PC version. And so it's just greedy and non-consumer friendly. But to find out they even were lying, oh man, we can't unbrick systems. Hey dude, I don't think we're okay for the used game thing. We can get in trouble. Oh, okay. Beep. I don't have to take it in? No, we unbricked you. It's like, well then why are you making other people take the device back and creating this market of
dude, like I said, that's still the bigger story here than the, like, to me, like, because I was all like, there's no way they can't undo that. You remember me saying that?
Yeah, you said that over and over. You were always like, they can fix this. And it turns out, if they think they can't get away with it, they indeed can. But that's okay, because before we go to the other one, they're getting their butt sued. I mean, we talked a little bit about it, and it is now moved into lawsuit. It went, like, they're definitely trying to get them in court. And just, my thing is, I hope they get a black eye. Because they've emboldened other companies. See, I told you I'd segue. They've emboldened other companies to go crazier. Because you saw that Xbox said, all right, we're charging $80 now. Why? Shut up. We're doing it because Nintendo's doing it. And then, but then one of the reigning champions said, let me show you how we gonna do it. And Ubisoft said, I'll show you a EULA.
So yeah, Ubisoft takes unpopular changes or makes unpopular changes to EULA. So basically, wow, man. Yeah. So Ubisoft's EULA requires users to destroy games.
First, uninstall any copies, and if you have physical copies, when their EULA ends, you are now required, according to the EULA, to destroy your physical copies of the game.
The latest,
I don't know how they're going to enforce this.
Yeah, the latest EULA released by Ubisoft apparently requires users to destroy or delete all copies of a game once it is taken offline. In point 8 of the agreement, the terms for termination of the EULA stipulate that the user must immediately uninstall the product and destroy all copies of the product in the user's possession.
And note that before this, it says we may cancel the EULA, aka make you have to do this, at any time for any reason we want. We can change the stipulations of what qualifies you to still be under EULA at any time, and it's your responsibility to know we changed it. So I laughed. We were laughing Saturday because everybody said this is not admissible in any court that has common sense. A contract normally has to, most judges will look at a contract and go, where's the other side of the deal? They go, a contract requires, here's what I'm required to do and give you. In exchange, here's what's required of you. That doesn't exist in the Ubisoft EULA. It's here's what's required of you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
That's the EULA from Ubisoft. Because it just goes, F you. We don't have to give you anything. The current EULA doesn't even guarantee, doesn't really say they have to give you the game. Well, they don't. They could get your money and go, okay, did the check clear? Hey, Zeno, did the check clear? Check clear? Cool. We canceled your EULA. They could do that. They could just not give you the game. They could take your money, cancel the EULA immediately, and by the way their EULA is written, and
well,
you do have a copy, you gotta break it.
You don't, okay. You're exaggerating.
They're not required to provide you any set period or degree or amount of service at all.
Well, first of all, they have to give you the game because you have to have the game. You have to have the game to sign the EULA. The EULA is at the beginning of the game.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. They can give you the game, you can start it up, they can immediately turn it off, and now you've got to delete it. And you didn't even get past the start screen.
Now
you signed the EULA, it's over.
Secondly, almost every country, even the United States, has a period of time, but it's very short. But almost every country has a time period in which you basically is a you can't fuck me clause.
Does that stand up against the EULA though?
Yes, that is governmental. That is federal. It will trump.
So if they cancel the EULA before you have a chance to refund it, but it's still within the refund period will overrule the EULA.
Yes.
Good. But then why the heck are they even doing this?
I mean, they're doing it so that they can release. So most likely, I mean, I don't know why they're talking about the destroy stuff.
Unenforceable in any way. Yeah. There's no way they could make you do that.
But I mean, the big thing is they probably want to try some stupid shit. And if it doesn't work, they want to be able to shut the servers down after them determining that it's not working. Or if they have a game that the player base significantly drops off, after the first 90 days, they want to be able to just cancel that game and then not have to.
Well, it's been put that in the EULA. Be reasonable. That's why I say this EULA is bullcrap. If they put in a stipulation that says, we will maintain the servers for this period of time, let's say 10 years, but if it drops below this amount of activity, it's no longer sustainable. So in this period, we'll close it early. Okay, I'm cool with that. I don't expect you to keep a server up for 500 people, man. Not a big server. Not for an online game. No, that's ridiculous. That's fine by me. And ain't nobody to blame. If everybody starts playing the damn game, you only got 500 people complaining, they need to go find something else to play. But set a actual expectation. Don't just go, we can turn crap off whenever we want. And like I said, I'm still trying to decide how they're going to enforce making you destroy your copy of the game. Like, what madness do they have planned where they're going to kick in your door and go, take that, break it in half? Like, the insanity. Because here's the thing.
Well,
it's one thing for a EULA to make you...
You say reasonable time and all that, but you got to remember, I mean, the crew is what started all this, which is also, their game. It's that started the whole, that little movement of stop killing games. But the crew came out in
2014.
2014, over a decade ago, and didn't have a huge player base.
Did it not have a good, big, huge player base?
I mean, at the time they removed it, I think somebody said it was like, maybe 700 active players or something.
And you know what? With expectations set, I'm okay with that. I think 10 years is a long time to keep a non-MMO game up. Now, MMOs are a little bit of a different story. They're not really designed to have an expiration date because they're constantly updating them usually. Look at ESO. New stuff coming out all the time. But on the flip side, I fully believe that Bethesda's reasonable to go, hey, we got to have a certain number of players to keep doing this. You know what I'm saying? Also, they're still selling memberships and stuff and DLC for it. Because now that's the real question is, because I know some people are mad because they said they spent money on the crew. But on the flip side, I'm like...
Yeah. I mean, the last expansion pack for the crew was released in 2016.
So, but you can make in-game purchases with real money, if I understand correctly. It had monetization. And monetization is where you muddy the waters, because I would normally go, yeah, you're right. Those people can't really complain. Except, you know what? You need to close off that market for the monetization at least a year or two before you cancel the game. You do. You don't need to monetize a game up until the day you cancel it, because you are screwing people out. Going back to my time period factor, if I buy the crew and I spend $50 buying new cars, upgrades, and real money, or even $10 or $15, I expect to play this game for a while because I paid the money recently for the extra stuff. And it is a case of, I don't know why you can't play the crew offline, personally. That ain't what it's for. I think it really is more of a multiplayer experience, but it's an old game. I've looked at games that I thought about going back to. You know why I didn't go Xeno? Because I didn't think there'd be enough people. It happens. Heck, I was playing ESO. I don't know what the heck's going on, but do you know that I sat there for a long time trying to get a dungeon event together? And I immediately said there must not be a lot of people playing, or at least not at the level I'm at, because it's not queuing up, a team for me to go into a dungeon with. About now, a couple of years ago, I was in and out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you're monetized, let's throw that on there. Because, see, that's the thing you got to factor in is the monetization. If you're going to close the service down, I think you need to close down all real money monetization a minimum of a year or more before you close the servers. That way you don't have somebody spend a bunch of money a month before you're going to turn the game off, and it actually becomes unplayable, being the key factor. That they will not be able to play the game in any form whatsoever. Wouldn't you agree? Monetization-wise, for monetization, you need to stop monetizing a game if you're planning to cut it off.
I get that. Not having your door open, your monetization.
I hear Storm too.
not having your monetization up to the last minute when you cancel something. I can get that, but no, I'm going off the rails a bit on all this anyway. I mean, yeah, no, obviously what Ubisoft's doing is wrong, man. I mean, it's just that also at the same time, you say expectations, reasonable expectations, but I don't think the consumer will see any expectation as reasonable. Are the consumers that are the ones complaining, because it always seems like where the line should be drawn, and nobody can agree on that. So honestly, I mean, I do get also where a company could just go, well, every time we draw a line somewhere, people complain, so we're just going to leave it open and just say, screw it.
Yeah, the problem with that is then you get the crap you're getting. I mean,
yeah,
you hear it goes both ways. Look, I'm just saying that the current version of EULA, you have no leg to stand on. I can't support it in any form of its current version. But if you start trying, because here's the thing, if you're not even trying, you are never going to solve the problem. If you just go, we're going to write the most hostile, screw you thing we can and just stick with that, well, then guess what? People are going to steal your games. They're going to hack your stuff. They're going to hate on your company. They're going to harass your staff. We're going to talk shit about you. You're going to get all the penalties that go with not trying. Whereas on the flip side, if they had something in play, I would go, hey guys, they told you when they were going to turn it off. You know what was required. I would be that man who would say that. I'd go like, hey, look, dude, the servers were under 1,000 players. They said, as long as we got 1,000, we're going to keep going. There's less than 1,000 of you. Who the heck's keeping a server up for less than 1,000 people? It isn't an indie company. No big corporation has got time for that. We know that they're greedy. I'm reasonably willing to go. Hey, I don't expect you to keep it up in infinite. The crew was up too long. The reason they screwed up is that they kept monetizing it though. And I'm like, well, hold on. Getting ready to shut it down because there's no way they shut that down in a quick decision. They planned to shut it down a year or two before they did it. They already were eyeballing going, what do we need to do to shut this down and phase it out?
Well,
make an announcement well ahead of time. Say, hey guys, you got 2 years. You got 1 year. And at least then they got a warning. You say, look, this is going down in 1 year. If you want to buy something in the shop, it's still going down in 1 year. That isn't what they did. That isn't what they did. So they caught people off guard. And yeah, people are mad. Now, they don't have a long, strong leg to stand on. You're right. To like 2014, guys, I'm sorry, but 2014, how long do you think they're going to keep this damn server up for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, they're not, man. That's a long time for a non-MMO. I'm shocked it was up that long.
Well, and that's really why. I mean, I think the more reasonable thing is to have an exit plan. I have this big open world game that I'm requiring an online connection for, and you can drive around this open world and occasionally run across somebody else. I cut off the server. I don't cut off the game. You can still roam around your open world. Just ain't anybody there.
Yeah. You go offline mode. You go, hey, look, we're going to leave an offline mode.
But all these games are hard-coded to require online connections now, and they don't want to ever undo that. And that's more what annoys me.
So here, we don't have a lot of topics, so I can get you to answer this. Why are they so weird about just putting the code out and letting people do their own servers if they want?
I mean,
if you're going to close your servers, you're not losing money because you're closing your servers. You aren't going to make money off of them anyway.
Some of them have priority IP on how their servers work, and they don't want to release that because they don't want somebody backwards engineering it. That's about the only reason.
Security issue. Okay, if it's a security issue, I can accept that. Because once you've decided to give up on the customer, what's the big deal about putting the game out if you're going, dude, we're done with these people? But then again, we could talk about that all day because how many people have IPs and won't let anybody else make anything with them, but they're determined to not make anything either. Capcom and Mega Man, I don't know what their malfunction is, man, but they're determined ain't nobody going to make a Mega Man game.
Well, speaking of Capcom, they canceled their Monster Hunter performance lecture as staff faced threats from players. Monster Hunter is a huge franchise, and the Monster Hunter Wilds has not been doing well. And apparently, that huge fan base is lashing out.
Well, I'll start off with fairness. A lot of people are coming off of games that had a lot of content. They had evolved and had a lot of stuff out. And the new game isn't really a new game in the biggest sense. Like, there's some changes. They're okay. But it didn't shake it up enough that you play it because it's so different. It didn't have enough content that you play it because it's got weeks and weeks of content.
Yeah.
And yeah. I mean, dude, I've enjoyed Monster Hunter and I still play it sometimes. I still jump on occasion. But I also pine for Wild Hearts, which gave me more interesting combat and more interesting weapons. There's only so many times you can put the same. Look, they're not. Well, I know that they are related to Nintendo. Wilds is really on Nintendo, but not every game you can keep putting a new coat of paint on it. It's no Mario Kart. You can't just keep slapping a coat of paint on Monster Hunter, because you know what? People go back and play the older Monster Hunter. There's still a solid player base playing Monster Hunter Worlds.
But I mean, what does this say about the staff though? I mean, okay, you claimed to have had some threats. You were gonna have a panel held at CEDEC, Japan's largest game developer conference. Obviously, there's upset fans, but I mean, do you think they thought there was an actual threat to them? Or do you think it was, man, we've pissed off some fans and we don't really have answers?
Your audio went out.
My audio went out?
Okay, it came back.
Okay.
That was weird. For a moment there, you were talking and nothing came out. At least not on my end. But no. Well, here's the thing. There is a threat to their feelings. I think they didn't want to get yelled at. It's not that I don't think that anything was going to happen to them. I think they didn't want to get yelled at.
Yeah.
I think they said they're going to be mean to us. And we all know how sensitive the new folks seem to be. So they didn't want to face the I mean, hey, one thing I get about Blizzard didn't give a F. You people don't even have phones. You know what I'm saying? One thing they weren't was snowflakes. They did not care. They were like, man, they start talking back. They were like, what, y'all broke? They looked at everybody like, what, y'all broke or something?
Well, and that's my thing. But I don't feel like they actually thought that there was gonna. Yeah, I think it is. I think. Yeah,
I don't
think they have answers, dude. I think they screwed up. They don't know what to do to fix it, and
well, here's the thing, dude. Fans threatening folks throwing a fit is silly. The game was not that bad. It ain't worthy of all of that. Was the game amazing? No. Was it the best Monster Hunter game? No. Was it a bad game? No. Did you get your money's worth? They didn't charge $80 for it, did they? I think it was reasonably priced, wasn't it? Wasn't it like only $60 or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And I don't feel like I didn't get my money's worth. I felt like it could be better, but honestly, it was better than I expected from Monster Hunter.
Oh no.
Well, be honest.
If you look at hours I put into the game, the amount of hours of entertainment I got my money's worth out of it. Now, did I expect to get more out of it? Yes.
Yes. Yeah, dude, I'm sitting on 277 hours. To me, that's enough that I don't feel like I wasted my money. I didn't get cheated. Because all the updates are free. Oh my God, overwhelmingly negative. They are getting slaughtered.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway. Dang. Okay, anyway, though, because let me see. What's it right now? It was 69, so let me take that back. It was 70. I thought it was a little cheaper. But still, I've gotten less for that. You know what I mean? And it's not done. They're still adding stuff. Now, is what they're adding have any value? No. Yeah, not yet. They'll get there, but there's no update they've done. Oh, wait a minute.
Even I have 120 hours in the game, so I mean,
yeah. And the updates they have, yeah, I'll admit they're mediocre. That's why people are mad. Updates, but they might get better. It's free. It might get better. You know what I'm saying? There's time. I know. Okay, cool. Got confirmation from Bloodaxe. He's listening in.
Yeah, I saw it.
So that's my thing. If the base game is decent, you can't go, the game's awful. You can go, you guys can do better on your updates. But it's Monster Hunter. Man, they're going to update this thing 50 times. They'll get it right eventually. And if they don't, well, you know, I heard another company's putting out a Monster Hunter putting out a Wild Hearts. Maybe we'll get a Wild Hearts too. I want my Kakuro staff back, man. I love that weapon. And you were literally mad. Let me tell you how much Wild Hearts was awesome. He tried the hammer and was going, dude, something's wrong. They changed my hammer. I can't do my cool combo where I spin and I have to time the button to build up a bit. And I said, dude, that's Wild Hearts. And he's just like, damn it. He literally had completely forgot what Wild Hammer was and was like thinking Wild Hearts and was so mad that the combos are gone. I'm sitting there going like, yeah, you do a combo and you're like, yeah, and then you spin. And he's like, yeah, I'm like, that's Wild Hearts. That's By the way, if you want to know why your chain sword doesn't lengthen into a chain whip for cool super Ivy-like moves, it's because that's Wild Hearts. Want to know why you can't find your super cannon that you can fire your death beam at them? That's Wild Hearts.
My dual wielding was better in Wild Hearts too.
Oh boy, you be up in the air just to fly while I'm on the ground getting my little black butt whipped. I'm over here. He's just with the greatest of ease. Yeah, he's Spider-Man. Monster gets ready to do a big attack. He just goes, bye. He's just gone. And I'm like, you could have put down a jump pad for me. Because, you know, that kind of strategy exists today. Okay, let me stop. I got to stop ranting about Wild Hearts. But the game's not awful. People are, I think. I mean, dude. If these people played Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, they would have burned someone's house down. Because you want to talk about crappy add-ons. We paid for a season pass, and we got robbed.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Me and Bloodaxe were furious about that crappy season pass. This is free. I have gotten several free monsters. Their gear sucks, but they're there. They look cool. And eventually, they'll put out a monster and accidentally give me a really good weapon I can switch to. It'll happen. You wait. They're going to probably accident, but it's going to be like the new meta weapon. I'm going to be like, finally, I get to wield not my artisan weapon with paralysis on it. But anyway. Yeah, Tiny to Wonderland was awful. So, it's excessive reaction, but I don't believe anybody was going to do anything. They didn't want to face the pressure.
Yeah.
They didn't want to show up and have people go, will you please put out a monster with some equipment we can effing use? Please. Because I feel that way. He laughs at me that I go back every update and then come back and he goes, what was it? Oh, yeah, I got to run around Zakuma. How was it? It's all right. I mean, it was cool to look at, but it doesn't work well enough to fight. Like, it was horrible trying to fight Gore Magala with that crap on because it doesn't work. And I was like, well, what about, you fought the new monster. What's Mizutsune's equipment? Dog water. It's trash. Yeah. It looks pretty. His music? That's my tent music. I listen to it. I be sitting in my tent. Dun, 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 dun. I love the music. His weapon? Trash. Armor? Like, trash.
What's the new armor? It's basically a cosmetic.
Yeah. Like, hey, well, Legatus armor can be swapped out for some stuff. Some people are trying it, but it's kind of a side grade where they're trying so hard to go, I'm going to use a piece of effing new equipment. And I'm watching people trying to calculate a reason to use the new equipment just so they can go, I don't want to think that they don't know how to make new armor. But I put on some Legatus gear because I just wanted to change. I did too. I just said, I don't know, swap out a couple of pieces. Because I'm just sick and tired of being sick and tired. But the game is not, well, there's performance issues. Yeah, I'm still having some performance issues, but they're getting better. That's a valid reason to downgrade it, the performance issues. But I don't think they're so overwhelming that the game should be overwhelmingly negative. And I don't think anybody's going to beat somebody up. Sorry, we got off track. We're nobody going to jump anybody on Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, they might have yelled at them. They might have asked painful questions like, What the F are you doing? Do you not play your game? You know, those kind of questions that are completely effing reasonable. What's your build? Oh, you're also using Gore Magna in that. Yeah. You ever want to change it? I'm sorry. I just want my build to change up. I just want some options, man. But it's a perfectly fine game. Let's roll. Well, what else we got?
All right. So next up, man, we've got some crafting drama with Subnautica 2. Now, this one is a bit interesting. It is coming out that, there are arguments for what Crafton did.
Yes. There are arguments saying that those devs are picking on Poe Crafton.
Well, there's those arguments, but we know those are stupid. No, apparently Crafton, in all this, in their response. So, originally, let's just say, so apparently they canned the top 3 people for Subnautica.
The founders.
The founders. Right before the release, there was supposedly a $250 million bonus that was supposed to go into effect, but it got delayed and all this stuff. Now, Crafton is basically saying that they had asked Charlie to devote himself to the development, was part of this whole deal, but instead he started working on some film and wasn't even present for a lot of the development. And then apparently, the $250 million bonus, 90% of that was going to go to the head 3, not the developers, but just the 3 heads, the leadership. Now, 10% of $250 million spread across a small development team is still a hefty sum, but if 90% was going to go to the 3 guys, that does sort of suck for.
Well, that's what they're saying.
Is sort of how management does
the problem,
things.
because the counter argument is the dev said, "No, we told our team we were going to distribute this."
Yeah.
And here's my thing: I just don't have a reason to believe Crafton, because they're saying that. That's still no excuse to cheat the bonus. Okay, whatever, we're going to keep 9% is going to go to them. And you fired them and delayed their game. That's got nothing to do with it. If they were going to wipe their butt with it, that makes them a-holes. That doesn't change that Crafton, on paper, severely seems to have tried to cheat them. Okay, I'm sorry. Delaying a game that if it gets delayed will cause a massive bonus to be lost is sus as heck. Firing all 3 devs, because you said, they said this guy's working on a movie. What about the other 2? You fired every founder for the company at the same time. That's sus. Firing 1 to send a message. Firing 1 to get the other 2 in line, maybe. But all 3.
It says
Crafton, let me put it in new context.
It says Crafton, it says Crafton made multiple requests to Charlie and Max to resume their roles as game director and technical designer, respectively, but both declined to do so. In particular, following the failure of Moonbreaker, Crafton asked Charlie to devote himself to the development of Subnautica 2. However, instead of participating in the game development, he chose to focus on a personal film project. If that's true, I can sort of see why you would go, all right, then if you're not gonna participate, then why do we have you? Now, of course, all this is he said, she said, which is the biggest problem.
Yeah, because the problem is who's telling us that is Crafton.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Okay, I'll be fair. They may be telling the truth. But here's where they screwed up then. We've seen this kind of thing communicated over a period of time. We've seen them tell you this. They didn't. You fired all these guys and pushed the game back, causing a huge bonus to fall through, and now you're after the fact telling us your reasons. dude, I'm sorry. Even if they're innocent, they're stupid in the way they executed it.
I mean,
they should have.
I don't see companies releasing their dirty laundry out publicly usually.
We catch this show covers issues with game development all the damn time.
Yeah, but it's not. Usually, it's claw and tooth to get anything out of a developer or a publisher or a company. Where do we get most of the information? Where do we see most of our information? It's from people who've been fired, who posted something on X or posted something on their LinkedIn. It ain't the corporations. The corporations respond. They don't tend to initiate their dirty laundry. I mean, how many times have you seen the company go, hey, we're going to fire so-and-so. Now, this is the reason, people. They don't do that. So, I mean, saying that, oh, well, there's a response, so it's not valid, that's not really, no. I mean, that's how corporations do. They respond. They respond to inquiry, or they refuse to respond to inquiry, usually. I mean, the response at all is something, we don't always even get.
I don't know. It's way too close to release, dude. Like, the delay, the fact that the game should have been out several days ago, this was all really last minute and gives a real cutthroat vibe because of the timing. I got you. And like I said, it doesn't mean Crafton is not telling the truth, but it does. It's a bad execution, man. It's a really bad execution. And it's really poorly timed that you delay it at the last minute. I mean, perfect example. We've seen games get delayed plenty of times. We rarely see them get delayed like where you're literally looking up and you're like, I mean, that game comes out in 2 or 3 days. Like, that's odd. It's all very, very odd. And like I said, all 3 devs at once is a lot odder than you fired 1 or 2 devs that weren't doing their job. All 3 founders out. That looks like a takeover, man. May not have been, but it really looks like one. I mean, in any other business, if you bought a company and you got rid of all the OG owners of it all of a sudden, and it just so happened to be before a big bonus was lined up, you get my logic. And how did Crafton themselves not go, this is going to look bad? And a lawsuit was filed, which means there's enough conflict and questions that a lawyer said, yeah, man, let's go for this. Now, we don't know if it's going to make it to court or if it's going to be accepted, which is too early. But if they're filing a lawsuit, they have to have some confidence. I'm just being honest. They have to have some confidence because it's a big, high-profile situation.
Well, I mean, dude, here's the thing. Yes, they have to have some confidence, but at the same time, I mean, if Crafton's claims are true, they should be able to show proof. Because I mean, Crafton claimed the delay was a response to playtester feedback. If it was a response to playtester feedback, they should have that feedback. So,
yeah.
Now, I get it. You're like, well, they delayed it, right before that. Yeah, at the same time, man, I don't know. Early access releases get really sort of burn me a little bit because it's just like, well, yeah, they were releasing an early access. It just seems like anybody can release an early access now. It's like, oh, here's a half-finished game. Why don't you go ahead and buy it and we'll finish it? So, Will in the chat room says only way firing all 3 at once makes sense is if the game isn't ready for release. Well, and that's what Crafton is claiming. Crafton is claiming the game isn't ready for release. They're saying that it had too many issues even to be in early access. So
also looking at this, dude, I just realized something. It's a $250 million bonus. the team members is only 100 or so. 10% is still $25 million to put out amongst 100 people.
I already said that. I said that.
I don't know. I wasn't listening. I was looking up stuff. Sorry, but no, that's still pretty damn good.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, okay, good. But like, I'm sorry, I'm also trying to see the lawsuit to see if anything's happened yet. Because it was 2 days ago. I'm curious if any updates have happened.
You're not going to get any update on that within 2 days, man. That's going to be a lot. It'll be weeks, months before you probably hear anything more on. But yeah. So I mean, it's at this point, it's a he said, she said. I mean, Crafton says the game ain't ready. The people that got fired says the game is ready.
And that's another one of those challenges because the game was delayed by Crafton. The people that if they hit these goals has to pay. That's why deals like that are very tricky. But here's my thing. They could have let them put the game out and see if it made, because it has to hit certain goals. It isn't automatic because they put the game out. They have benchmarks. Let them put the game out and see if it hits the benchmarks, man. That is sucks. No, I'm flipping on that. Even harder. Like, you don't have anything to lose. If you didn't think the game was going to make it, you didn't need to delay it. It wouldn't have made the money. Why would you fire them before they're about to put out a big game that, to my knowledge, when I talked to everybody I knew in my Saturday friend groups, they was like, man, I'm looking forward to this game. You fired the staff and delayed a game that was anticipated because you were going, oh, it needs more work. Well, you've also made it impossible for it to meet the metric. And let's be real. Grounded came out in betas steps before it was released. It's not unusual in the gaming industry to put a game out in early access and continue to work on it. It's not. It's a completely reasonable thing.
I don't know if it's reasonable, but it's not uncommon. What they do.
Okay, it's standard. So you think Crafton was trying to raise the bar? Crafton's trying to be. We're trying to be better. Well, being better is saving them a lot of money. So. No, I mean, that's weird.
You gotta have some bit of standard, even in early release. I mean, we've seen games get bashed and downvoted horribly because of bad early releases.
You fire all the founders then. That's when you fire them.
Once you get that stink though, it's hard to get off.
Crafton is Crafton.
Well, obviously they got a different type of stink now. But I mean,
yeah, because here's my thing, dog. Okay, it's sus. They didn't even let them put the game out. It's sus. They put out Concord. Concord was released.
So, that wasn't even an early release. Though. That was a full release. That's just bad decisions. Bad decisions are.
So they couldn't let Subnautica get put out. Subnautica 2. Wilds came out. It needs more content. We just covered this. They could have let that cook a little longer. They would have had more in the game. So, I mean...
Yeah, dude, they probably wouldn't have all those downvotes if they would have let it cook longer. It wouldn't be overwhelmingly negative.
Power flash. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
You still there?
Yeah.
But my monitors are... Oh, wait a minute. That messed my monitors up.
Oh.
God dang it. I'll be right back. I got to restart. It flipped all my monitors around. You can hear me, but I can't see anything.
Oh, wow. All right. So yeah, we got a nice frozen Q there. Oh, no, man. I don't, as far as, I hate not having information because it just sucks to go off. I mean, it's two different sides going, you did this, you did that. So.
Yeah, no, this storm is something else, man. Let's see. Let's get some visual.
Oh no, my lights have flickered a couple of times.
Here. All right, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Well, my latest video update caused it to where my monitors will swap and start flickering, and I have to sign out and back in. And it's annoying to back the drivers up, so I'm hoping they'll fix it. Because I looked online and apparently it's a problem. I'm like, so hopefully NVIDIA will get this fixed and I don't have to ever, because when it goes to sleep, it does the same thing. And I have to keep signing out and in. It's a pain in the butt. Yeah. Tech is just not on the level it used to be. Yeah. But anyway, though. But yeah, I'll cut it short there, man. Like I said, it's a debatable point, and I'm not saying that they're full of all lies, but I am going to stand on that they definitely didn't do themselves any favors, man. You know what I mean? The way they executed this. And it is sus. The lawsuit, because here's the problem. They didn't give them a chance to prove that they weren't going to hit the benchmarks, so they still may be suable just because they could go, they're preventing us from trying to get this bonus. And they are. The money's on the line. The Crafton wrote themselves into a corner when they put this big bonus on the line, because now they can be accused of interfering.
Yeah, I mean,
and yeah,
they can be, and they can also just say it's crap and that needs more work, and they were trying to push the release because they were trying to meet a bonus instead of giving a quality game.
But here's the problem. Can they prove that?
Well, and that's where that customer feedback, if what they said with, we had negative feedback from playtesters, if that's true, then it's there you go.
They don't just need negative feedback. They're going to need majority negative feedback.
Well, yeah.
They've got like 30% said it could use more stuff, and 70% liked it. They can go, we were going to hit the benchmark. Because, see, undeveloped worlds, or undiscovered, whatever it's called, doesn't have to prove the game was going to be a blockbuster. They just need to be able to say, we were going to hit this benchmark, and they stopped us. And honestly, doesn't really matter. And the rest of it doesn't matter, because this isn't a lawsuit saying we didn't make the best game we could. This is a lawsuit saying they interfered with us getting this bonus so that we couldn't get it. If they're smart, that's what they're suing for. At which point, the judge is going to go, yeah, but it could have been better. That's not what this is about. This is about, were they going to make
it all depends on what. It all depends on the contract, man. I mean, that's the thing.
It does.
I mean,
like, what does the bonus say?
Yeah, and we don't know.
But that's why I think there's even a lawsuit.
We may get it in the courts.
Yeah, and like I said, that's the only reason I even think there's a lawsuit. The only reason I believe there's a lawsuit is exclusively because they're going, we're suing them saying they're preventing us from getting our bonus. And all that other stuff, you're mentioning some good points, but a lot of it's not points that relate to that particular topic, because they can go, hey, the bonus doesn't say we have to make the best game we can. The bonus says we have to hit these benchmarks.
Well, I mean, once
again,
we
were going to hit these benchmarks.
I mean, the problem comes in with we don't have all the data, and we never do. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, we can't not talk about something because we don't have all the data, because not all the data will ever be released to us.
Well, the mistake, the real mistake, I just realized it. This is the best way to end in that conversation. The mistake is they never should have put a time frame on it. They just should have said, we want Subnautica to make this much money, and we'll give you a bonus. Subnautica 2. At which point, they wouldn't have been trying to race against the clock. Putting a time frame on it, as well as a benchmark, pushes people to just barely cross the finish line. That is true. I would be like, dude, we need to get this game out fast, and we need to make that benchmark. What if we can make more? What if we missed the deadline? The deadline was a dumb idea.
I agree.
Deadline was a dumb idea.
Do good work, release a good game, make money.
Yeah. Say, we want this game to sell to be this level of profitable. Okay. We expect you to complete it in a reasonable time. But don't say you've got to the end of 2025 to make this much money. Well, Xeno, you're going to make more money off of earlier you release it, right? because it's been out longer. Like you're not gonna want to release it in December if you need to make a benchmark before 2025. You're gonna want to put it out as early as you can and try to drum up. Look, because now you got time to try to throw out some paid DLC and some monetization, whatever it takes to hit that benchmark. So the real mistake is the time limit was set alongside the benchmark. And now it makes it debatable who's full of crap. It could be both of them.
I mean, putting a hard time on there is an issue, but it's also you can't leave that open either. You can't say, oh, and then they release a game 10 years later, living off your dime because they're like, I know it's not the best game it could be yet.
Well, no, but here's the thing. I mean, if you fire them and close the studio down in that case, they can't accuse you of interference. There wasn't a time limit. You just fired them because they weren't making the game. None of this would literally have been a debate if the time limit was not there to make it look like this was intentional. If they had a undefined amount of time to get Subnautica 2 out, there probably wouldn't even be a lawsuit. They wouldn't. Or they would have had to say we were fired inappropriately. They wouldn't be able to say they're trying to prevent us from getting a bonus. They wouldn't have been able to say that.
I mean, the thing is Crafton alludes that there are other terms that were not met, not just a time thing. They said the current early access version also falls short in terms of content volume. So basically not enough content to put out. They were supposed to have a certain amount. That's a
very difficult thing to quantify for a contract.
Is it? What? No, it's not.
No, I said for a contract. Like, I don't know if that contract listed the required amount of. It might. No, it might. I'm just saying. I don't believe they're going to be able to pull up and go. We put in a contract they were supposed to have by early access this amount of content. I do not believe a number or value exists.
Well, and once again, like I said, that comes in with the issue of we don't have the contract in front of us. We don't know what was said.
So. I could be wrong. I'm just saying. But here's the thing. If it does, I'd have put it out by now, man. I'd have said, hey, look, dude, right there. Here are your numbers. They only got 80% of what we said. Numbers, man. You can't argue with numbers. Numbers are powerful.
Yes and no. Well, here's the problem with that. You said there's a lawsuit?
Yeah.
I've got to be really careful about what I release now. I can't release those contracts. Those are part of the lawsuit.
Oh, that's cold. They may be locked down because it's considered evidence.
Yeah.
Or, just don't want the opposition to be able to plan a counter for when you pull it out.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, I mean,
You know what? I'm going to go with the easiest answer. They're both full of shit. They're both honest. Crafton fired him for good reasons and doesn't want to pay the bonus. The other guys didn't want to do their job.
I mean, if you want to be honest, in most cases, both sides are full of bullshit. So
I just feel bad for the dev team because they either got screwed by the founders or they got screwed by Crafton.
Yeah.
But either way, they got screwed.
Yeah.
Because if the founders weren't doing what they're supposed to do to make sure the game was going to come out on time the way it was supposed to fulfill the bonus, they screwed their staff. If they were, they're not responsible for it, and Crafton did it, the staff is still screwed. And 10%, aka 25 million, amongst only 100 plus people, it's still a lot of bonus, man.
I mean, 25 million across 100 people is 250,000.
And even if they didn't distribute that evenly, it at least, man, was probably going to be 20 or 30,000 the lowest pay.
25,000. Sorry, 250 million. 10% is 25 million, and then divided amongst 100 people is
250,000 divided amongst. Well, no. It's 250 divided. Brain. If you were to divide it evenly, I think it's supposed to be 250,000 a person.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, and even if they don't do that evenly, it's still a few $1,000s on the lowest end of the payout. Probably, the janitor probably gets at least a few thousand. So it's still a massive loss to them. So somebody or both of them screwed over the staff. The victims are the staff. at Undiscovered or Unrefined Subnautica 2 studio. So they're the ones that got screwed. And I feel for them because it sucks. Though at least they didn't all get fired. Jeez, how many times did they just fire the whole staff? I mean, at least Crafton didn't fire everybody.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, that's how Crafton should come out to make themselves look good. They come out and they go, "Hey guys, look, we realize that your leadership was flawed, and but we still want the best game possible. So get this game out. Let's get a good release, and we'll still do something for all the devs. We'll take that 10% that was not going to be going to the leads.
Pizza party. We're going to give you a pizza party.
Not a pizza party, no."
You know what I'm saying? Everybody gets a free pin.
But yeah, if they just so instead of being out the $250 million, they were going to cut. They're only out $25 million.
Yeah, they could still give the 10%.
Yeah,
and that would look really good if they said we're going to give them the 10%. But wow, man, these companies. I mean, hey, they didn't do what Microsoft would have done. Microsoft would have said, "Oh, we fired everybody and canceled the game."
Yeah,
we fired every single person. You can't say we were screwing anybody. We screwed everybody. You know how you can't say we were screwing them over? Because we're not even putting the game out.
Yeah. God,
we can't be out on a game that doesn't exist.
Microsoft is killing me, man. Microsoft.
Oh. No. Microsoft is killing its employees.
It's killing itself. Woo. Yeah.
Dude, devs are getting hosed so bad these days. Wasn't there a game recently where they fired all the staff right before the game came out? Like the game was about to get released, and they like wiped out the whole studio and team so that so nobody would get paid for the game. It was crazy, man. They are like wild out there in the gaming industry. I don't know what's going on, but there is some wild stuff. But I don't remember what game it was. It might have been recently, but I saw it recently. It might have been a while back, but they were like, yeah, they fired the whole staff like a week before game release day and still released the game. They just kept all the money. I'm still sussing out that other one we talked about. Was the one where they claimed it wasn't Outriders. I'm still looking at Squaresoft funny because that's just weird, man, and they didn't pay the team anything for that game. You know how bad a game's got to do that you don't pay the team anything? Like that's... Yeah. But I will... One last defense for Crafton. I'll be nice and say this. It's also the founders' faults for signing a contract where they can all be fired that easy. Like, I know they sold the company, but you really need to watch that contract a little closer, because they can fire all three founders this easy. They set no protections for themselves at all. They clearly had nothing in this sale to protect their butts on any level. And I'm not going to lie, if I plan to keep working with the company, I am going to go... No, we're going to hammer out a little better, like, my job security. Because otherwise I wouldn't stay. I'd just leave.
We've seen some willing and dealing CEOs and CFOs and
they can't even fire, yeah. Hey, I will do, okay, it's hard to get the KK contract. That's wild. I mean, that woman, I'll give a power to KK, Kathleen Kennedy. She got a contract, won't quit. But you can at least have one that goes... I have to fail at these particular goals to be terminated. You can't just accuse me of not doing what I'm supposed to do. Because here's the problem. We don't know if they were fired legitimately. But who knows? Maybe they do have a contract that goes, here's what we expect for you to stay employed. Me, if I was going to sell a company, I'd probably step away. And we've seen that. Go start a new company. You step away. Like, selling a company and staying on... You better put something in there to protect you.
I mean, old Bobby Kotick, with Blizzard. I go, but you're going to pay me millions or billions
of dollars. Well, here's another one. You at least have the contract go, you can't fire me until I finish this damn game, at least. Like, go, I am going to stay employed unless I violate these morality or extremes, zero tolerance stuff. I'm staying employed until this game's completed. Which you've set a deadline for. So it's not even like you got to be worried. I got to have it out by 2025. But clearly, they just gave absolute power to Crafton. And Crafton's like, Get rid of all three of them. Win now. Just get rid of them. And it's like, and I mean, they may have a reason, but geez, like you said, look at these other CEOs who are really hard to get rid of. But telling you, man.
I think we're gonna end it there, man. My lights keep flickering and.
Scared? Are you scared?
Well, I mean, we're at an hour 10 as well, so we're good. But yeah, I don't know how much longer my power is gonna stay on. So.
Look, you make it sound so clinical and businesslike. What is this? We in it for the love of the game. You quoting times at me. Yeah. He doesn't see blackout. You know why we talking?
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to Dicejunkies.com where you find links everywhere we're online. Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And as every week,
we hope you enjoy.